Mark Stone was a finalist for the Selke Trophy in 2021, the award given to the NHL's best defensive forward. Stone also scored 61 points in 55 regular season games for the Vegas Golden Knights as their captain, a stat line that many people who've watched this guy over the past, 5 years or so, have been like, okay, he's a really good player. The fact that he was over a point per game, that's not really the biggest deal in the world. He's already gotten that Selke nomination. Good for him. He's a great defensive player. He's a tough son of a gun to play against. And now he's the captain who is going to help this team that was tied for the first place spot in the league go far in the Stanley Cup Playoffs, right? Well, today's video is going to talk about Mark Stone and the defeat that he and his hockey team, the Vegas Golden Knights, suffered in the third round of the 2021 Stanley Cup Playoffs to lose the Clarence S. Campbell Trophy as well as their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. What is up, your other Watcher Villax back here, and today we're talking about how the Montreal Canadiens completely shut down one of the NHL's best defensive forwards and point producers in Mark Stone. I will give a big shout out, though, before we get this video underway, to Jack Hahn. He is the guy who used to work with the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Marlies organization. He had himself this article that he posted on this website, shutting down Mark Stone, how Montreal neutralizes Vegas's most impactful forward, that I will absolutely 120% recommend you read, because it's a very deep, intricate breakdown as to everything the Canadiens did to throw one of the best defensive forwards in the entire game today completely off of his game. Mark Stone, as we noted, was over a point per game player in the regular season. In the playoffs, he had 8 points in 18 games played, which isn't terrible, but it is a step down from what he did in the regular season in terms of the points per game numbers. You can see last year, the Vegas Golden Knights went to the third round as well. They got eliminated by the Dallas Stars. He had 17 points in 20 games played, a lot more up to snuff with what we expect. In the postseason, Mark Stone had 4 goals in 7 games against the Minnesota Wild. So that's a great series right there. Not to mention the fact that he also had an extra assist, 5 points, 7 games, really good numbers right there. Awesome. In the second round against the Colorado Avalanche, the team that actually edged out Vegas in the President's Trophy race, they actually were split by, I think it was the second tiebreaker. Mark Stone had himself 3 points in the 6 games played that it took to eliminate the Avalanche in that series, which, it's not the best in the world. It's half a point a game. It's certainly good, but it's not top of the line, absolutely carried the team like he did in the regular season past this Avalanche team. But in the semi-finals against the Montreal Canadiens, Mark Stone went out there, and guess what he did in the 6-game series over there? 0 goals, 0 assists, and 0 points. He was completely neutralized, and if you take a look at the quotes that he has himself, he says he got skunked in this series. That can't happen. I'm the captain of this team. I'm the leader of this team. I take a lot of responsibility for what just occurred. And you know what? When you take a look at what actually happened in that Game 6, this was Mark Stone's stat line throughout those first 2 periods. 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots on goal, shot attempts, hits, takeaways, block shots, and 0 for 1 on the faceoffs. One of the replies here says, he has to be injured, and he actually answered that in the press conference after they got eliminated, saying, yeah, no, I actually wasn't injured, I'm fine. Here's a funny quote. I thought that I was going to be tried to be shut down by Philippe Danault, and it was Philippe Danault that shut me down. So that definitely sucks. That's a joke! That's a joke! He's parodying Mark Scheifele because Scheifele said that about the NHL Department of Player Safety. Great way of taking accountability there, by the way, Mr. Mark Scheifele. Mark Stone, on the other hand, this is a joke. Just kind of threw it in here for the laughs. So, Jack Hahn's article, Shutting Down Mark Stone, goes over the entire analytical perspective as to how Mark Stone wasn't really doing all too well. This is the assessment from before Game 6. Something is wrong with Mark Stone. He's consistently been one of Vegas's worst skaters in terms of 5v5 shot differentials in this series. His relative Corsi for was at a negative 26.6%. Pretty much meaning that when he is on the ice, Montreal gets a lot more chances than Vegas does. The article, Jack Hahn writes, goes over the entire thing here. Philippe Danault disease is part of the answer. In Game 3, Stone's 5-on-5 ice time was 18:52. Funny to find out that 58% of those minutes were against Philippe Danault. In game number 4, Stone played 15 minutes and 21 seconds of 5-on-5 time on ice, and 75% was with Philippe Deneau. So there you go, Luke Richardson coming in here, line matching the heck out of Mark Stone with Philippe Deneau, the best defensive center the Montreal Canadiens have to offer. The article talks about it's not just Philippe Deneau, but it's Lehkonen, Gallagher, and Deneau, and how they're all tenacious, responsible players who don't cheat for offense. Better yet, against Stone, they're under no pressure to score. If they can just break even, then the team is in good shape with the Suzuki and Kotkaniemi units ready to go. And it's easy to say, okay, it's just line combinations, you're going out there. Mark Stone's a good offensive and defensive guy. Philippe Deneau is a good defensive guy too. Lehkonen and Gallagher are defensively responsible. Just play them together and boom, they cancel each other out, right? Well, what exactly goes into that? Why does it work that way? Jack Hahn writes about it and he says this: even though Mark Stone has elite stick skills, strength, and hockey IQ, he does possess a significant weakness, one that caused him to fall to the 6th round of the NHL's entry draft in 2010. He is a clunky skater. His propensity to push off his heels rather than the balls of his feet don't hurt him when he is hunting the puck or has a bit of space to problem-solve a defender. But the way he skates holds him back when he must blend a quick change of speed or direction with his first touch. This is why Hahn writes that the best way to neutralize Mark Stone is to get in tight. And he shows a whole bunch of examples, clips from the previous games where Mark Stone is going after the puck and he's trying to turn on the dime. He's trying to change the direction of the play. And the Montreal players that are tracking Mark Stone and they know the game plan with this guy, they see that. They see, okay, he's going to get the puck and he's going to turn right. All right, what am I going to do? I'm going to go right up into Mark Stone's radius of turning and I'm going to get my stick right in there because this guy is not agile enough and he doesn't have the proper skating mechanics to properly avoid point-blank pressure right up in his face. And it's not even when he's just turning either. When he's stationary with the puck, you see Canadiens forecheckers get right up in his grill and try to swat the puck away. And it's effective because the way Mark Stone moves around the ice gets challenged when you have forecheckers that really get up and give him little space. For example, in Game 5, the Canadiens win this one. They go up 3-2. Mark Stone starts to realize that a lot of the things that the Canadiens are doing are working. And so what does he do? He gets a little bit frustrated. He starts to try to compensate for the way that he is being shut down. On the very first goal scored by Kotkaniemi and Josh Anderson, it's a play where Mark Stone goes in and he pinches along the half boards. That's not his responsibility, though. That's a mistake that opens up a new passing lane, which allows Anderson to come in on a breakaway. He gets stopped, but Kotkaniemi's there in the rebound because nobody was there with him. Then you have the later moments in the game where Mark Stone takes the puck shorthanded, and he tries to come in to create offense, but guess what? The Canadiens, they get their sticks right up in there. They're like, okay, even though we're on the power play here and Mark Stone's coming back down, if we just get tight, if we just get our sticks in his general vicinity, he's going to have a tough time navigating around that. And guess what? He panics. Suzuki swats the puck away. All of a sudden, Corey Perry, one-on-one, in front, Caulfield scores. And Mark Stone is super frustrated with himself afterwards because he knows that one was on him. And I know you can go into the entire debate, oh, Mark Stone, leader, is he supposed to be able to do that? He's getting really frustrated. How is it going to reflect off on the other teammates if you're showing off this kind of body language and you're saying these kinds of things to the media, all that? I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the abilities that Mark Stone has because we all know he's a good hockey player, which is why when a guy like Mark Stone only produces 0 points in a 6-game series in the semi-gosh-darn finals, it's a big deal. Because Montreal found a way to completely shut him down, take away his offensive tools, and neutralize his effectiveness. Not only that, but you have the icing on the cake that Philippe Deneau and Lehkonen and Gallagher, the guys that ultimately were paired up against him for the majority of the time, they scored the series-winning goal in overtime in Game 6. That is icing on the cake, is it not? So, talk to me in the comments what you think about Mark Stone and the abilities that he had that got absolutely taken away by the Montreal Canadiens. Luke Richardson, Alex Burrows, the gosh darn backup coach. Dominique Ducharme's technically the backup. Claude Julien's the main guy. Peter DeBoer and his systems in this series got outcoached by a secondary backup. How crazy is that? Also, if you have some spare time, go in the description and watch Jack Hahn's review. He's got all the clips, he's got all the examples. I will absolutely 110% recommend his work because he does fantastic material here on hockey. His entire tagline is "See hockey in a different way," and I think that's exactly what I've been doing, just going over and checking out his profile and his account there. So go ahead and read that article about Mark Stone and how the Canadiens neutralized him, but talk to me in the comments also what you think about this entire idea in general. I hope you enjoyed this British Rolls 99, and bye.